Hello, Jason here. Today is July 16th, and this is your aftermarket update. So this is not so much an aftermarket update, I guess, as it is the trade session in its entirety today. We went through again today, and we combined our breakout trading room along with the oil trading group room and into one session today. And what I wanted to do is just play the entirety of the session for you here today. So took really, I think, unfortunately, oil was the only market that was moving today at the times that we were trading this morning. And so we hit our 100 tick target today here on the CL. We did take one break-even ES trade. ES moving very sluggishly today. And so we took the trades in the market that was moving, and that happened to be CL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total trades today. 3 CL winners and 1 break-even CL trade and 1 break-even ES trade. So I'm going to let you watch the entire session today. I go through quite a bit of explaining the tools, explaining market maker levels, what you get if you're going to join the breakout trading room, and you'll get to see a few of the trades along the way. So again, it's about a 2-hour-long video, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here talking. You're going to get the gist when you watch the video today. So without further ado, here is the trading session today in its entirety. So guys, I'm back here today. Some of you, that's okay. Some of you, maybe not. I don't know. But and hopefully you can hear this smile. Yeah, good morning, Paulette. Hopefully you can hear the smile in my voice when I say that. So again, just one more day. If you are, we know we have some of you that really like to hear Matt and want to listen to what Matt's offerings and those kinds of things, and he's going to be in here with us today. But you're going to have to deal with me for one more day. What we're going to do here today is I'm going to do the same thing we did yesterday. This is not going to be an oil room, but there is going to be oil traded today because we are combining both rooms. So I'm going to look at the ES specifically, and I'm going to trade oil. And I'm going to be using the tools that we're offering here as part of Matt's room. And again, just a reminder, if this is your first day with us, Matt's just joining us here. And while he has a good grasp of the tools, candidly, no one's going to have a better grasp of the tools than the guy that creates them, right? And that's me. So in here today, I'm going to do this. We're going to go through the same process we went through yesterday. We're going to look at the ES. We're going to watch a particular setup. And that is the time frame moves along with trend, along with paying attention to the market maker levels and also the OTG support and resistance levels. So again, today's format going to be similar to yesterday's format, but don't fear. Tomorrow it will be back to Matt. It'll be Matt's show in here tomorrow. So we'll be going over to. I'll be back in my cubby hole, and Matt will be over here. So this will be the last day of this. But again, we got very good feedback from yesterday's session about how, hey, that was great. That gives me a clear sense of what the tools are, etc. And some very strong feedback in that regard. There were a couple of you that said, hey, you know what? I've been on your list a long time, and I'd like to hear what Matt's all about. And I know what Jason's about, but I'd like to hear what Matt's about. And we hear you. All right, we hear you, but again, today it's going to be similar to what you saw in here yesterday. So we're going to go that direction. Let me get the charts, Matt. I'm going to turn yours off here for a second, and we're going to pull up my charts here. Matt mentioned to you this morning that we do have an ECB press conference going on right now, and I threw the link down there for you in the chat window down there, so that you could see that. So I'm assuming you could hear me okay, and I'm assuming that you could see my charts okay. And if you would just let me know, that would be cool. Maybe nobody can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Okay. For Eric, it's good. Anybody else, it's okay? All right, very good. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about what's been happening. We're going to start with the ES today. We'll start with the bigger picture time frame here, 60 minutes. And again, I'm going to have to do some ninja work this weekend. Again, just If you don't know this about me, and you can go to the website and you can click on the About Me section, and I've written an article about how I got into trading and just a little bit about me. And so if you're having trouble getting to sleep at night, click over to that and read about 30 seconds of that, and you'll cure all your insomnia issues. But I say that to say this. We've got my son plays a high level of competitive baseball, and I'm having a difficult time keeping up with that schedule. Like yesterday, we left the house here at 2 o'clock, and I was home at 8 o'clock last night, and it's 100 degrees here in Texas. So it makes for a long day after a day of trading. So I will get to some of this stuff that I'm about to tell you. Like, for example, I'm having trouble getting the data to populate properly in my daily chart on my NinjaTrader, so I have to use another platform to do some analysis. My 60-minute chart seems to be working okay, and so we're going to talk about it first. So again, you can see here that we're trading now above the 200 period SMA on the 60-minute chart. And so what you have here is you have a low, you have a higher low, you have a higher low, and then a higher low. And on the other side, you have a high, a higher high, a gap, a higher high, a higher high, we are making another higher high. So that is your textbook definition of a trend to the top side, right? And for those of you that like to draw, I don't do this very often, but we can draw it on here. If you like to draw trend lines, and if you want to go to, if you want to use the Tom DeMark School of Trend Line Drawing, then you find the most recent points, right? You find the most recent 2 points, and that's a horizontal line, not the vertical line. Hang on a second. I'll get this right here. Give me a second here. We'll go extended line. Okay, if you wanted to go to his school of thought with the 2 most recent points, it would be there. There would be your trend line there. If you wanted to go and do it from a different perspective, you could grab it from here and go down to here, and you can see that, you know, this is following the trend line up, and you've got another trend line developing here. So you've got a couple of trend lines there, definitely to the top side here, so you'd be watching the breaks of those trend lines if you were interested in that type of activity. Also, so again, the bottom line here is we are in a move up here on the ES. We are definitely in a bullish, it's definitely a bullish looking market here on your 60-minute time frame. On your daily chart, it's a little less obvious, but still obvious nonetheless. I'd like to show that to you, but I can't. For the aforementioned reasons. But let's take a look at your support and resistance levels. This is going to be the most important chart from a structure perspective that you'll see from me here today. And again, we talk about dividing the markets into steps. So I'm going to take your OTG SNR tool, and I'm going to take the secondary levels off, and we're going to just focus right now on the main support and resistance levels. So again, started out this morning right around the center point. What is the center point at 2104? Came up into this step, and we've been rotating here. And you'll notice we haven't made it back to the center point step yet, which means we'll go out and test the red break point here today, probably, right? That means we'll probably come up to 2118 quarter. If not, we will likely come down into the center point at 2104 quarter. Now, we've had 12 points of movement today, and that's better than what we had yesterday. I think yesterday, well let's just take a look at where yesterday ended up in terms of total points moved, was 12.75. But the big part of that move didn't happen until really the end of the day. But if you take a look again here at your chart, you can see we did the same thing that we talked about. We were step to step to step to step to step, trying to come back up. So you'll see that we paid really close attention to these different levels here, right? As we segment the market out into sections or steps, as we call them, and you can see how the market rotated in and around those steps there on the ES. So again, powerful levels. These are going to be the main levels that we're going to be watching for today. We'll use these levels in conjunction with the OTG trade plan and the market maker levels, right? So the market maker levels will start to form up. The first ones we'll get interested in are those that happen at the pit open on your market maker levels at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Those will be the first set that we'll be interested in here this morning. From a trade plan perspective, I heard Matt going through a little bit of the time frame stuff with you on the trade plan. Also, Dave has posted that trade plan into the documents folder, which is located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Your first move after the open is a short at 8:33 a.m. and then a short at 8:35 a.m. So again, if we're trading below the 120 period SMA, when those shorts time frames, when those probabilities for a move with the time frame being short comes in and we are trading below the 120 SMA, we will look to get into those trades at that point. So basically, we are looking for a bullish type day. I'm expecting a test up to 21.18 quarter at some point today. But initially, those first couple of trades look like that the market is destined for a move at around right after the open, and that probability for that move is to the short side. And we'll see what happens as we make our way into it. All right, so taking a look at the CL here, we are still on your daily chart, still rotational around that 70.5. 51.85 is that number. We've talked about this is your daily chart. Talked about that. So we are just rotational now around this 70.5 area. This is a retracement level that we look at. It is not a traditional fib, even though I use the fib drawing tool to pick it up. We've been rotational here since we hit that level for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is day number 8. So again, we measured out several of those yesterday for you and on different time frames, and we will continue to measure those out, and you'll be able to see what it is that we're looking at and why we think these are such an important piece of what we do. In addition to that, the higher the time frame, the stronger that move is. The higher the time frame, the stronger that level becomes. Rather, not that the move is, but the stronger that level becomes on the higher time frames. So clearly you are in a bearish mode on the CL here this morning. If you take a look at your 60-minute chart, you can see that we're trading underneath the 200-period SMA again, right? And that's what we look for in terms of trending. You can see we came up and tested it, and we have subsequently fallen back off of it again. We have structure here, and you can draw, well, I'll get it together here this morning. Hang on, guys. You draw this horizontal line. You've got structure right here at right at the 50-90 area, just underneath 51. So really, you can see we've come down once, twice, 3 times. We test it again. We should probably break it, right? We should probably break that to the downside. So on your 60-minute chart, you've got structure right down there around that 50-90 area. So again, we'll be watching for that area today. And your break point, your blue break point today is at 50.70. So that's within the tolerances there. So that will be a place, David St. C, if you're in here yet. I don't see you in here yet. That will be a place for all of us here to look to get long. That's the break point here today. And we'll be looking for a long there. If we break through that level, that's 50.70. That's 100 ticks from here. If we end up breaking through that level, then we'll be watching down below. But that will be a trade worthy of review when we make it down into that area. So same thing again here on the from your OTG S&R standpoint, the market's going to move in segments as we identify. The low here today is just 4 ticks above the box down below, so that's close enough. Step to step to step. Couldn't get through it. Tried to make a new high up here. Couldn't get down through it. And now I would be expecting a move potentially down to 51.33. Should get a reaction off that level initially, and then you've got your breakpoints down below. So again, if you're just joining us, by the way, to summarize and finalize here, ES is bullish, slightly bullish today. The CL is definitely on the bear here today. All right, so just as a reminder, if you're just joining us here today and you're like, man, I wish Matt was talking again today, you'll get your wish tomorrow. What we're going to do today is we're going to look to trade the ES off of the trade plan. Again, I'm the developer of the tools here, and so as the developer of the tools, no one knows those tools better than I do, so we thought it would be good so that you could see and get the logic behind why it is I'm doing what it is that I'm doing here on the ES today. All right, let's get some of the housekeeping issues out of the way. First of all, welcome to everyone this morning, and a special welcome to our guest. If you are a guest in here today, we do have a representative in here. His name is Dave. Dave will be reaching out to chat with you at some point during the session today. Dave's responsibilities include welcoming you to the group and also making himself available to answer any questions that you may have. If you ask Dave a question that he cannot answer, he will act as your liaison to me this morning, and I will do my best to get your questions answered for you just as quickly as possible. In addition to that, if you ask Dave a question, in addition to that, if you are a guest in here today, we do have a limited number of seats for you in here today. So Dave will be using the private messaging functionality to gauge your participation level. If Dave is sending you a private message and you are not responding, he is going to ask me to give you a verbal nudge. It is after that verbal nudge that if you are still not responding, Dave is going to release your seat and make it available for someone who is waiting to get in here. So again, if you are a guest in here today, we like you in here, we want you in here, we appreciate you being in here. The only thing that we ask in exchange for that today is that you do read and respond to your private messages. Now finally, you know you have a private message from Dave when the icon above the main chat window pops open and flashes in yellow. Select the yellow flashing icon, read your private message, and you can respond by hitting the send button, which again is located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. All right, you are about 2 minutes away from the top of the hour here on Crude and the RTH session open. What I'm showing here on this main screen is the ES market maker levels, and you can see that how these market maker levels provide structure in your overnight session, right? So we rotated a little bit around the market structure signal. We went up to the market structure target, rotate, 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 and now we're looking to come off of that level and possibly into that 21.1675, but more likely into the 21.18 quarter area that we talked about just a minute ago. So again, that's just a little bit on the market maker levels and how they do provide you with some structure in the overnight session. I don't like trading the ES in the overnight session. I don't like trading in the overnight session. There's just not enough movement. I'm one of the reasons I prefer oil is because of the movement. JW, we are 59, almost 60,000 contracts on the August, and you are 32 on the September, and so that's a 65-35 split. I will change to September when we get to more than 50% volume on the front month. I suspect we'll get really close tomorrow, and that by Monday we'll be switched. That's going to be my guess. That's going to be my guess. All right, so you're about 30 seconds away from the open here. Mario Draghi still speaking, so that's going to give us a pause here still this morning. You do have that opening range trade, which I'm not going to take here this morning, would have you short at 54 and long at 75. I'm not taking it. I'm just going to watch the open here because of the Draghi speech. Also, Yellen testifies today again. So more of the same here. More of the same in terms of market activity, I guess, for lack of a better term. Events going on in the market. All right, the very first time frame for a move, there's your opening range trade. The very first time frame for a move, you know what? I'm going to put on here. I'm going to put 34 long on the chart here. I'm going to put 33 long on the chart, okay? So if you're just joining me here, this is the price ladder that I trade on, and you can see the entry, and you can see the entry on the chart, and you can see the entry here on this dome, I think. Well, you could, if I expanded it like that, you could see the entry down there on the dome at 33, right? So that's the entry. I'm looking to get long at 51.33 right now. That's where I'm trying to get long here this morning. So I'm going to clear out the order book on the CL, and we'll take a look here. A little bit bouncy and choppy. We're looking for it to come down to that next step at 51.33. You do have a market maker level on the CL top. That's your chart in the top left-hand corner of your screen where it says DS signal. That's a first-time touch. That is according to your trade plan. Okay, so again, OTG trade plan for CL is down there, and this tells you, gives you the ideas for rules for market maker levels entries, first-time touch rule. On that, that's down there at 30. We also have the OTG S&R entry which is a 20 tick move. If the market moves 20 ticks down into that level or up into a level, then it is a first time touch, long or short, based upon the direction. So it's a counter trend move. It's a fade move. All right, so that's also in your trade plan. Again, the trade plan is located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen in the Documents folder. That's where it's located. So, again, I'm going to trade the CL this morning until we get to the open on the ES, and then we're going to start watching the time frames for a move on the ES, and then we'll be looking to do something that lines up with the time frames there. So I am doing only one setup on the ES today, and that is the trade plan and the time frames on that. But we're going to talk about the other potential opportunities as they develop. If you are just joining us, and I hate to be repetitive, but I'm going to be. If you are just joining us today and you're expecting to hear the dulcet tones of Matt Bowen, he will be in here full time tomorrow. We are just in here talking about the tools in here today, right? We're just in here talking about the tools today. I'm the developer of the tools. Matt's been with us for just 4 days here. And so while Matt has a good personal grasp of the tools, it's just easier for me to go through into the nuances of these tools here as we sit through it here today. So again, if you are expecting to hear Matt, and you will hear him full time again beginning tomorrow, you're going to have to bear with me today as I make my way through the trading day here with you. So right now, I am looking at a long at 51.33. If we get to when we get to the 8:13 time frame, that is the first time frame for a move after the open, 8:13 a.m., and that time frame gives you a probability to the long side. At 8:21 a.m., you have a higher time frame probability move. That is also to the long side here today. Thank you, Bob. We appreciate it. Rob, they're really not. And that's a great question, by the way. So question Rob S. asks in the room here, are the higher time frame signals stronger than the smaller time frame signals? They're really not. They both carry they both have weight. And so really what you're just looking for, and the reason I broke them up like that, I could have just had them all the same, but the reason I broke them up is if you had 13, 21, 40, 41, it begins to get a little bit confusing. So I separated them out because they are on a higher time frame study. Where they become really cool, Rob, is, yes, that's it. They are much stronger when they come together as one, right? So with their 4 or 5 minutes apart, even today you've got 8:13 and 8:21. That's close, right? That's pretty close. And so what I would like to see happen here is, if we do end up getting into that long at 8:13 a.m. and it does end up breaking the filter, the counter trend filter, and again, on your trade plan, I tell you how to play the counter trend moves right here. I give you a chart. Here's the rules for the pivot times on the counter trend, right? It tells you how to do that. And so what happens, and again, all of this is in that trade, in the back testing study that we did, and I think that document's also in the trade folder down there. So we should come back up into this center point up here at 61.97, right? Now, the problem we may have here is it may get there before we get a chance. So here's one interesting thing, and again, this is part of what we do here. There is an opening range trade, and when that front side fails, it went 54 down to 45. That's not 10 ticks, obviously. When the front side of this thing fails, the back side generally works. 51.75 up to 85. So that would have been 10 ticks for you up on the second side, the other side of that opening range trade. So when we first developed this opening range trade for the CL specifically, everybody does their own variation. Some people use the first minute after the open. Some, like I do, use the minutes leading into the open. There's all sorts of ways to do it. But man, that thing used to pop and we would be one and done on, I would say, 40% of the days. You would get this massive move, 100 ticks, 150 ticks, right? And it would be fast and relentless. Then we went through this period where it didn't work, and then it started coming back around again, and now we're in this period where it's not working again. I say all of that to say this. If you use that opening range trade, a better probability entry at this point right now is watch the front side. If the front side works, great. If the front side doesn't work, then there's a higher probability that back side of that trade would work instead, right? So if you want to play that, wait for that front side to open and let it go through. And this is just on the CL, by the way. But wait for that front side to open, and if it works and runs, well, okay, it's missed opportunity, didn't cost you anything. But then if it doesn't work, then the backside generally does, right? So I didn't take it today. You've got Draghi speaking, and so that makes all these little range trades a little bit choppy because rangers are created, then they pop out for a few ticks, and then they come back and they go the other direction. That's characteristic of a ECB press conference kind of day. Right, that's characteristic of that, especially in the CL. All right, so at 8:13 a.m., you do have a time frame for a move with the probability to the long side. So if we do end up getting above the center point here today, okay, then you'd be looking to carry it up into that minor resistance at 52.49. This center point here in this area at 97-ish is going to be a little bit difficult, right? It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you once we get there. But we'll see, right? We'll see. So again, I want to say thank you for everyone who has popped in here today. We certainly appreciate you trying out the room here today. And again, just a reminder, we are here today, and I am here today. And if you were expecting to hear Matt's voice, you'll hear it some more here today. But again, what I wanted to do is kind of show you how these tools work and the way that we look at the tools, etc. Right? And so as a result of that, you're going to hear me here more today. But Matt will be back on the mic and in charge again starting tomorrow. Yep, that's exactly right, Matt. Thanks for posting that in there. We appreciate that. So you can see I still have a long working on the chart down there at 51.33. I don't expect it to get down there here at the moment. All right, so in 13 minutes... so we'll be at the 11. In 2 minutes, we're going to be at that bar for a time frame move, the first time frame move with the probability to the long side here on the CL. And I may end up taking that. So as long as we are the trend, okay, so let's talk about that. Here's your OTG trade plan, and here's the setup. With trend, okay, with trend, and you've got the rules and the setup for how we're going to be looking at it. So I think I have 13 ticks as the auto break even in here. Contracts, stops. Yeah. So it's an auto break even at 10. If I have 13 in there, and I think I read 13, I'd originally done 13, right? It'll be auto break even at 10. So this is with the trend because we have the major trend, these little triangles, and then you have the minor trend. Both are working in the direction of the time frame for our move, which is at the open of the next bar. Okay, which is at the open of the next bar. So let's go to our drawing tools. Go to chart marker, arrow up. It'll be the open of this next bar where the time frame for a move with the probability to the long side is. Hey, Paulette, I could see you Skyping me in here. It will make it easier for me if you could send me an email letting me know. And we'll get it done. Paulette. We'll get you squared away. But if you send it to me an email, I have a system in place to help me get that stuff. Remember to do that stuff. If it's put out in some other way, I don't always have the trigger to get to it, if that makes sense. All right, the open of this next bar is the long. I'm going to look to get long right here at 80. I put the 80 long on the chart here. We'll see if I can get filled. I am in at 80 right now. The trail stop here, first target is 95. Okay. The trail stop here is behind the filter at 63. This is your time frame for a move with the probability to the long side. We just made it up to 87. Just made it up to 87. Don't fall out of here. Stop right now is 63. I'm not excited by the fact that we fell out of that. Went right up to 87 and fell out. I'm not excited by that, but that's okay. So the target is up there at 95. First target is 95. You've got the next time frame for a move, which is at 821. All right, point of control is at 84 here now. So let's watch the order book here and see if we can get any signals or clues as to what may be going on here. All right, Ray, thanks. Have a good day. 84 up there is the point of control. So you need a bar. You'd like to see this bar close up and over 83 here. 83, 84. You've got the structure signal up there at 03. Structure signal up there at 03. We may hit that and fail out of that. I'm expecting us to get up to that center point here. Stop right now is at 63. That's behind the trend finder filter that we use. You've got a new bar in the 5 minute coming out here in 1 minute. There's 85. Let's go 86, 87. We get up to 90. It'll go to auto break even here if we get to 90. There's 86. We need to test up through 88 and then 90. We did hit 90 a minute ago. So this was the time frame for a move with the probability to the long side. The next time frame move is 821. I'm expecting this to carry up long until 840 this morning. We'll see. 63 is the stop. We are chopping around here right now. First target is up there at 95. First target is 95. Next target, 10. Final target, 52, is 50 ticks to 52.30. I don't know that we'll get there. We may pause around 97 here. That's where we could very well pause here. You've got the new 15-minute bar coming out here in 10 seconds. So let's see if we can get some energy off of that new 15-minute bar. There's 84, 85. Yeah, I sure will. Point of control, the way that so I have a couple places where I look for it. I have a volume profile, and you can see it's right, well, this one is a little bit off of what the one that I primarily use here. Let's just start there. Hang on a second here. Let's see. We are falling out here at this 79. This gray charcoal area up here at 84. And I will explain. It's a little bit easier to see looking at it here. We're going to center this up. This is the area where the most volume has come in this profile area here. That's where the most volume has come in. And so what that means is once we get to 84, that's where everybody agrees that the price, we get a lot of agreement there that that's a fair price. The buyers come in and sell, the sellers come in, the buyers come in, and you get a lot of contracts that change hands at that position, which just simply means that that's where everybody feels like the price is fair for this particular instrument at the moment. And that's, if you go to investopedia.com, they can give you a textbook definition, but that's my definition. Yeah, and then the light gray area is the value area. That's correct, Paulette. So the top of the value area right now is 92. That's exactly right. So we keep coming into this 84, and again, that is your point of control. The point of control, though, looks like it could switch to 83 soon. in terms of the number of contracts, depending on what we do up here. So again, 8:21 a.m. So in about 4 minutes, you've got the next time frame for a move, with the probability being to the long side here. And if you go to, like I said, David, and by the way, welcome in here again. And look that up. Use the search tool that they have there at investopedia.com. Then that will give you the textbook definition if you need that as well. Just type in the term point of control there. All right, so you can see how the market is paying attention here at 83. We need to get through 83 to 84 here. I expect we will. I would like it to do sooner rather than later here, of course. Yeah, no problem, David. Again, welcome to the group. It's good to have you in here today. So we are waiting for the open on the ES before we look to do something here, and that will be in about 10 minutes. And we're just up here around 82, 83. Still need to push up through these areas here. I don't want to be down underneath 79 here. Need to get back north of 80 here. I'd like to see us close above 84. The structure mid is down here at 69. I'm not interested in testing that. Yeah, and we just did. So we just rolled out of that. Not over yet, but I'm not happy here. Structure mid, we just came right down. We need to use that as support. The fact that we came up to the point of control and couldn't get through it is a bit sketchy here for me. Stop is at 63. There's your 69. ETH session open price is here at 62. Jeez. Okay. Next time frame long coming up here. I really expected, still do expect to get up to that center point, but maybe not. We'll see. And that point of control is what really snagged us. So we came down to the structure mid. We need that to hold here. The other concern I have is it may have to come down to 62 to touch that ETH session open price. That is a potential concern as well. We'll see if we can get north of it here. Like I said, I'm a little sketchy on this. Stop here is 60. That is the final touch of the move here of my stop. And again, I'm doing that because I want to get underneath the ETH session open price. If we get back up to 80 to 84 here, and we cannot get through it, then I'll go to break even. So the open of the next bar is the next time frame for a move with the probability to the long side. And that is on the next one here. Next bar. We'll see. That hopefully will work in our favor here. It's the open of the next bar is the time frame for a move with the probabilities to the long side here. I still think we're going to end up at 97. We came down to the structure mid here. We've double bottomed out at the structure mid at 69, 68. I'm going to move the stop to 67. Trail stop is now 67. I'm going to get below this formation here. On your 1 minute chart, you need to break through 75 here. Stop is 13 ticks to 67. Okay, this is the time frame for a move. Right now, another higher time frame for the move with the probability to the long side here. There's 74, 75. We need to get through 76. There we go. Now 77. Come on. So at least we broke 75. This is the time frame again for a move with the probability long. The technical entry, if you weren't in already, the new entry would be on a break of 86 to 87 on a buy stop up there. That would be the next entry point. Yeah, Reg, I agree. We will see. 67 is my, there we go. 80, 81. Come on. Bust through 81, 82. Let's go. There's 84, 85. Come on. 86, 87. 95 is the target. Get up through here. Come on. Get up through it. That's the time frame for a move. If it gets to 87 up there, then that is the technical new entry point would be 87 up there. There's 87, 88, 89. Stop is break even now. Boom. Look at that. All the way up to 02, 03. We got our first target at 15 ticks. First target at 15 ticks, now off. And my trail stop here is 81. Boy, that was the time frame for a move right there, wasn't it? No doubt. That was the time frame for a move, and that nailed it. 10 is the next target up there. 30 ticks at 10, and look at that. That's cool. So we nailed that time frame. That time frame was nailed beautifully. So that is according to the OTG trade plan there. You know what I'm going to do here? This thing is just popping around a little bit. I am going to sell stop 1 at 90. I'm going to take one additional contract off at 90 for 10 ticks. And now I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to have one remaining with the stop at with the sell stop here at break even. Okay, so I took 2 off. We took 2 off at 15 ticks. So 15 times 2, and then 1 times 10. And now we have a runner. So we'll see. Right, we'll see. I'm going to add one back. I'm going to add one to this at the high up there at 18. On a breakout of the high, I'm going to add one. Oh, yeah, change that to, yeah. Thank you for that, by the way. And my stop is 1 lot at 80. So I told you we'd come into this center point. Thanks, Bob. I told you we'd come into this center point here. The next expectation is that we get up to 52.48. Now, it may not be in that straight line. 52.34 will also provide you with a significant area of resistance. So I'm going to add one at 18, and I'm going to take them both. Well, yeah, I'm going to add one at 18. That's for sure, and then we'll see. So you're 20 ticks positive on this next contract. That's exactly right. We can next time at the bar here. We'll it's on me. All right, so we've got the open here on the ES. We'll be watching for that. We'll be watching for the open here on the ES. There's 98, 99. By the way, I was in a what you're gonna. The story I'm just gonna quickly tell you here is just so you can identify the kind of trader that I am. I do this a lot. I go visit other chat rooms just so I could see what people are doing and how they're doing it, and just I just go check out the competition, right? Just like if I was a Ford dealership, I'd have a Chevy in my arsenal so that I could take a look at what they're doing, right? That's just what you do. And the guy this is not good, bad, or indifferent. It just is what it is. The guy this morning took a trade. He had a 5-tick target on CL. He got nervous with it and took it out at plus 3 ticks after about 3 seconds, right? And said, "Hey, look at that! We got our 3-tick winner, and we're good to go here today." And if that's the way you trade, that's fine. That's just not me, right? That's not my style. I will have a little bit bigger stop, but I am looking for those bigger runs. And so, again, that's the way that I trade. And so you're getting a sense of that here if you're new with me today. That's the way that I look at the market. So again, if you're in here looking for 3 to 5 ticks, that's not me, right? And sometimes that works very well. And you know, yeah, that's kind of the sense that I got, Jim, was, whoa, my gosh, it's going 3, 5 ticks. Yeah, let's get it. Right. And the reason that you do that is you don't have a clear sense of your targets if you're looking to do that kind of trading. You don't have a sense of where your target probably should be, is my thought process. So like when I told you here that we should get to 97 up there and we should do it at some point, I can't always guarantee you that it's going to happen in the time frame that we talk about, and that we look at it in, but we do have a pretty decent sense of where the final number will be. Now, I did pull one off a little bit early, and the reason I think this is all of this extra activity right now, I think is due in large part to the ECB conference and the question answer period that's going on. And so I think a lot of this nervous energy is that result of that. But you can see now we are rotational around this 97 level, right? Now we're up here in rotational around 97. We're going to look to add up there at 52.18, and we're going to look to take them all off either at A, 52.34, or B, if we get that real energetic push, it could come off at 52.48. So that's where we are. All right, you've got the open on the ES here in 2 minutes. The first time frame for a move is a short on the ES, and we're going to be trading above the SMA here at that time frame, so there'll be no trade on that ES on the first time frame. There will be no trade. Okay, just FYI. Also on the ES, we came right up to the daily R2 and failed out of there, and so now we're bouncing between the London range high and the daily R2. So my first time frame for a move is at 8:33 a.m. and that time frame probability is short. Now it is a double time frame at 33 and 35. And so there may be something else in conjunction with that you could use, like a market maker level. But again, I am sticking to the plan today that I told you that I would be doing in here, and that is I am looking at one setup on the ES and one setup only, because that's the way that I would want you to be introduced to the tools. Don't try to take every setup and that you're going to be presented with here at the Oil Trading Group. What you want to do is try to take get one setup under your belt, whether that's one off the OTG trade plan or that's one of Matt's setups. You get yourself one setup, you get really comfortable with it, you get successful with it, and then you fold it in to your style, and then you move on to the next one, right? So I'm going to offer you, and Matt's going to offer you probably 6 or 8 different setups. And any one of them can be valid. Some are good, better in some days, and some are better on other days. But what you want to do is you want to get one that you call your own and that you can start to become consistent with, and then that's the one you look at, regardless of what I'm doing in here on an everyday basis. This is about you and your success. And in order for you to be successful doing this, you have to come up with those 1 or 2 ideas that speak to you. Okay, we're at the open here. You've got your market maker levels formed up. This is a first time touch short right up here at the daily structure signal. 2114 quarter is already down almost immediately. You've come down to 2113 quarter. That's your market maker level daily structure signal, first time touch right there. So at 8:33 a.m. you do have a time frame for a move with the probability to the short side. But again, we may be under the SMA, but I want that SMA really to be, I want it to turn red actually before I would get into it. So, but again, another tool in your arsenal, daily as your market maker levels on your ES, 2114 quarter. You would be ahead of that at 21140, and now it is a 1.25 positive almost immediately out of the open, right? It's a 1.25 positive almost immediately. I'm not trading this setup today. I'm trading one setup, and it's the one setup that I've told you about. It's the time frames for a move, right? But you are getting a little bit of a bend here now on the ES. So at 8:33 and 8:35, you've got the time frame for a move. I'm going to wait for the 8:35 time frame, and we'll see what happens. I'm at break even now on the CL. I'm at break even on the CL here at the moment as the stop. There's 82, 81, and it just tagged me out at 80 at break even. So up 40 ticks on that move. Up 40 ticks on that move. 8:40 a.m. is the next time frame for a move. All right, 8:33. This is how much space do you have here? This is 211, 2111 quarter. This is the time frame for a move here on the ES. Right here. And then at 35 again. Yeah, this was the time frame on the bar right here. It was just too close. It was just too close to the. It's right here. Here's 8:33. This is your time frame right here for a move. 8:33, and it was just a wee bit too close here to the moving average for me to do anything with it. So what do you think there, Matt, as we look at this ES?
I'm looking at the volume right now, and it's no one's got an upper hand. This is chop suey right now.
Yeah.
They just got either 3 minutes into the ES. They tried to take out the ceiling up there at 13.50. And then they brought it right back underneath it. So, there's no conviction on the outside right there right now. Looking at the trade plan, I think that 942 number, coming in, I highlighted that, and I actually talked about it this morning when I said that's a long time frame for the ES, which means that, excuse me, that 942 number.
Yep.
Central time,
Yep.
that looks probably going to be a pretty powerful time zone. Trade plan is calling for a long. We're not so much about the direction, but the timing.
Well, and you make a good point, right? The underlying, the big picture idea on the ES today is longer, right? That is the underlying, the big picture is that we should be looking long. So you're right about that. It should work out a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, on the ES, if you look at it, take a look at it's making higher highs and higher lows. So fundamentally, that's good. We got a good bullish, sound foundation. And absolutely, I agree 100% with you, coming right into the market this morning. You got a short trade there. It is definitely not in the direction of the 120-period moving average, which does not coincide with the backtesting results.
Right.
So we only took trades that were in direction of the 120-period SMA, and that trade clearly is not in the direction of that moving average.
Agreed.
So,
I agree.
let's stand aside and wait.
Yep.
You don't need action, man. Jackson doesn't, he's making broker fat. You're gonna end up paying him. You're better off standing aside. Take a look at reread. If you gotta, I know people that have to reread their they would take the ES back testing or the CL back testing report, either one of them, and they come into there every morning and they look at the numbers and they say, you know what? If I want those numbers, I gotta follow these rules.
Yep.
And if that's what you gotta do it. Because you know what? Don't think it's a stupid idea. Believe me, if there's anybody out there that's got a cement head, it's me. I have to pound stuff into my head. So I like to sit there and have that little voice in the back of the head that's always talking to me a bit more trouble. That's gonna drive me blind for years. And I had to shut that thing off. So for me, it's all about read the plan, read it again. Sometimes, like I said, I read that Market Wizards book probably 50 times. I read the cover off of it. I had to buy a new book because I kept reading it.
Yep.
That's just the way I am. If
Yep.
you're like me, keep doing it. You'll get it. But fundamentally, higher highs, higher lows. We got a short position in there. Better to stand aside. Wait till you get a signal in the direction.
All right.
I've been sitting on my hands.
So here is so again, that's what makes trading great is you've got that. One thing I do want to show you here, guys, though, is here is your market maker level up here. So again, this is I've got 5 hours of videos on this, right? Worth of video. 2114 quarter is your market maker level. That's a first time touch short. Okay? Right there, 2114 came all the way down now for 3 points almost immediately out of the open. And that is the opening first time touch short on your ES. Now we did have a couple of time frames, and even though right now it looks like that it was bent during that time, you were watching while Matt was talking, I was watching that. It was still in the green. The SMA was still in the green. So again, you potentially could have gotten short, but it was too close. 2113 down to 211 quarter, and now it's bouncing back up against you a little bit here. So Matt's absolutely right. I think that opportunities to the long side are going to be more valid today than those to the short side. We are coming up on a double time frame short here on the CL right now. I'm going to take that long down there off the chart. At the open of not this bar right now, but the next bar, there is a time frame for a move with the probability to the downside coming up here at the open of this bar. And then at 41, you'll have the open another one. So that's a double time frame here. So I'm going to look to probably get short here down, try to get this down into around that 32, 33 area again on the CL. And so again, yes, there were 2 time frames for a move on the ES. I told you why I didn't take them. It is what it is. The next time frame, and that would have been a reasonable opportunity. The next time frame for a move on the ES is at 8:56 a.m. That's the next time frame for a move is at 8:56 a.m. And that is to the that is to the top side here. So coming out of the OTG support and resistance zone here, getting back above the moving average, then be looking to take that up to 2118 quarter potentially. All right, so it's the open of this bar right here on the CL. I'm going to get short right in this area here, 75, 76. And the stop, and I am in, and the stop here is 95 at the moment. First target is 60, next target is 45, and the final target is 32. And that's where I'm looking. This is a time frame for a move. This is the bar that we're expecting the time frame to move short from, and so we'll see. And technically, your stop should be up at 98, but I'm not going to be that high with it. So watching the ES here, the next time frame for a move on the ES is going to be down at the 8:56 time frame. And we'll go to auto break even on this CL entry here. We'll go to auto break even on this CL entry here at 10 ticks if we can get there. The next time frame, so that this is this bar, and then you've got the higher time frame on this bar for a potential move here. So we'll see with the probabilities to the downside. My expectation level is that we came up into this step up here at 97. We couldn't get above it, and so now we should come back into at least 62, and then all the way down into that next step underneath it at 32. We'll see. We are still in the throes here of this Draghi discussion. There's 76, 75. Come on, 74, 73. You've got a bottom down here at 73. We need to push through it. Point of control again at 75 now. There's 74, 73. There we go. 70, 69. Get through it. Looking to try to get down to 60. There's 69. Let's go 68. We may run into support at 62, at which point I may pull some of this off. There's 67, 66. There's 64. Okay, 63. I'm going to take 2 off at 64, 11 ticks. Right here at 63, 62. I'm off 2 at 63. And that's 10 ticks, 12 ticks times 2. I should have waited. And then the next one is 45. And then below that is 32. Okay, so these are areas of interest here right now. Stop here is 74. Break even plus 1 to 74. All right, so, I'm kicking myself a little bit on the ES. I tell you why I'm a little nervous in the service on the ES. It's that the SMA was still bent. I have a bias, I have a bias to the long side today on the ES. And so even though those 2 time frames, you saw them back to back here, right? These 2 time frames on your trade plan came right, but we were we were close to coming down into this support level. And again, this market will move step to step on you as well. Just like we look at on the CL, this market will move step to step. And we have spent a ton of time around this step today, right? A ton of time around that step. So that's why, again, like I said, a little nervous in the service on it. But it is what it is. So we're still doing okay on the CL today, but we'll get after the ES here. So I'm up 65 ticks as I sit here today, give or take a tick or two. And we'll see. So again, I told you 62. That's the ETH session open price here. The next time frame for a move is long on this ES at 856 this morning. And that one we will most likely take. Most likely we'll take that. Again, it's got 10, 12 minutes to develop here. We'll most likely be taking that, though. Took those off the time frame from 1350 to 11 quarter. Cool. Flipped and closed from 11 quarter at 13. That's beautiful, Jim. That's beautiful. That's perfect. Well played, sir. Well played. Well played. And so Jim's had the tools for a while. Or been with us for a while, I should say. And Gary is also a market maker level aficionado at this point and a believer for sure. All right, so we got to get down through 62, 61 here. I told you 62 is going to likely be a sticky point here for us, and it's no doubt has been. So let's do this. Let's take the next target. We're going to take 10 ticks off the next one here on the CL. And it may run, and if it does, that's great. We'll try to get 10 more ticks off down there since it's just having a little bit of hard time, and it just took me out of break even. So there you go. I'm out again at break even. All right, I like the idea of this 956 time frame on the ES. So right now I'm at 65 ticks on the day on 2 trades. And now it'll probably come up and have taken me out a little bit higher and then now retrace back down. And if it does, okay. All right, I'm going to get up for just a second. I need to do that after a win and a loss, really, just so I can kind of break the seal that I have with my trading chair. I'll be right back. The hypnotic effect that this trading chair has on me. I'll be right back.
Trade plan, just sitting there, waiting for a setup, because we're bouncing right into that ceiling, that 2113.50. We went up there and tested that again. But that block, did you see the minor level on Jason's chart there? If you go back earlier this morning, that's been a huge number. Huge number. We spent a lot of right where his arrows are, change colors, and then like 3 bars to the left, you can see it change colors again. So it's flat, it's flat. There's no direction. That's on a low minute, but another thing you can do is take a look at your YM. Sometimes when the ES is stuck in mud and it's flat as a pancake, take a look at your ES. You can get key off of those. If you're a TF trader, you trade the Russell 2000, you can do the same thing. I've never been a fan of the NASDAQ, but if that's your thing, take a look at it. But if you run those fib levels off of YM that I had this morning, you can see we came right down to a 38% retracement, down there at 18,008, right in that letter, 18,010, we came down. That was the previous session high, and we came down and bounced right off of that. So I'm telling you, those previous session numbers, they're big. They're real big. Just making higher lows on the YM as it's moving up on the 3-range chart. So again, go to your trade plan, take a look at what's the action plan long term today. That 1042 number. You got a 933 short, Eastern Standard Time, or 833 Central. That short's going to play out into 1042 this morning. So you got about an hour in here where it's looking at from the short side. Just something to be aware of. When you're in that state of, well, I don't know if I should go this way or that way, sit on your hands. Trust me from experience. Sit on your hands.
All right.
Sometimes people will say, "Man, come on, take a stand, take a side." There's no, sometimes get into politics. I don't want to go into the discussion there, but a lot of times I view it as an independent. A lot of times a business person needs to come in here and make decisions because politicians can't make decisions, and if they do, they're usually bad. So there's a time to just sit and let the market tell you what it wants to do.
That's a very good point, Matt. That's a very good point. Listen, we're coming up on a time frame long here in about 4 minutes on the ES, and now your SMA is bending in the right direction, and we are trading above the daily structure signal now, which should take us into the red break at 2118 quarter. Structure signal. If we close above that structure signal, market maker level, and we're in the time frame for a long, I'm taking it on the ES. FYI, I will take that on the ES. Now, is it going to leave the station without me? It's possible. It's possible, I suppose. But I do think we're going to come up into the next step on the ES up there, which is 2118 quarter. Next time frame for a move is in almost 4 minutes here. And then that's going to get you in sync with that higher time frame long, which I like the idea of that. I like the idea of that very much. But you'll notice, so one of the things that you look at and you look for here is if you close above this daily structure signal market maker level. So you've come up to it, you came back down, you've come back to it, you came down a little bit, and now you're here at it again. If you close above it, then the target is 2119 half. Well, we'll run into resistance up here at the break point at 2118 quarter. We will run into resistance up there for sure. So you've got the time frame for a move coming up with the probability to the long side. And we wait. Also tagged into that.
Another thing you could point out too
Yep.
is the volume levels. You know, if you look at the volume numbers.
Oh, for your on the wave chart, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's another chart that has been I don't want to say disabled, but is not coming up here. I've got some ninja work to do this weekend once we get through baseball. I've had a few charts here today that I just can't get to wake up for me. They look like this. Let me see if I could find it for you. Let's see here. They look like this chart right here. So this is what I get. This is what I'm getting right now. No data. So that's another one of those.
I had those yesterday.
Yeah.
I had to restart my machine.
Well, I've restarted and redone, and yeah, and Gary, I've gone through every. I don't want to call it hocus pocus, but that's what it sort of feels like. I've gone through every hocus pocus thing with Ninja Trader, and I tell you, they're really good, and I like most of the things that they do. But I get frustrated with the fact that you can't talk to a person over there. That drives me bananas. All right, you've got a higher time frame move with the probability to the long side on the open of this next bar here on the ES in 20 seconds. I'm going to get long. I'm going to put it on the chart here at 2,113 half. My stop here is going to be 4 ticks to 2,112 half. There's hit but no fill on the ES. And it is the open of this bar right here. So I'm going to try to put in at 2,113.75 here. There's 2,113. I may need to just go mark it in. We'll see. Okay, I'm in at 2,113.75. I want to be behind the SMA at 2,112 half. We'll go to break even at 6 ticks here. This is the time frame for a move. We'll see. With the probability to the long side. 2,114 up here is a triple top on the 1 minute. I don't want to necessarily look at that on the 1 minute. We are underneath the daily structure signal here, which does provide me with a little bit of concern. So this is the time frame for a move with the probability. I'm going to get one more tick down underneath the Asian range high there. So it's 6 ticks on the stop here on the ES. And the time frame, the next time frame for a move on the ES is not until 9:42, and that's where we get long. Also on the CL, you've got a time frame for a move with the probability to the long side at 9:58 coming up here at the open of this next bar, but it's not with the trend right now, so it's not a doable idea. It's not with the trend at the moment, so it's not a doable idea. It would have to break 83, 84 up there. But it is at 8:58, so that's the open of this bar. This is the next time frame for a move with the probability long right here. Yeah, Gary, those and they're frustrating is what it is. Those issues are frustrating. Because and I've gone through Ninja and tried to get it done and all right, we're rotational now. Yeah, 2 minutes, and that may be what the market's waiting for here. Yes, thank you, Jim. And that may exactly be what the market here, especially the ES, is waiting on, is that top of the hour number. Which is in a minute and a half here. I'd like to break through the 14 quarter up here, close above that 14 quarter on the ES. So there's your time frame for the move on the CL here, right here at this level, and it is slowing down a little bit here. Starting to pick up the tempo just a little bit here. 80 up there would be the buy stop at 80. Then at 905. I'm going to wait for the 916, 917 time frame. I'm going to wait for the 916, 917 time frame where you have two time frames, higher and smaller, line up on the CL for the long. I'm in the ES here based on the 8:56 a.m. time frame for a move with the probability to the long side. And that is right here. So we've got basically now you've got a 4 top here at 75, 1375. So we need to get through it here. It is pretty sluggish here. I'd like to break the top at 14.00 and get north of the daily structure signal up here. Get north of that daily structure signal and then look to take out the high and the targets. You know, you could bring that final target up to 18.00 potentially, which is, actually we'll go 21.75. That's 4 points on the ES here. That's something you could do, and I did do, to see if we could come up into the break point up here, which, you know, I'm not sure yet. We're going to find out here what the announcement has to offer for us here in 10 seconds. See if that quick takes me out or we get a push here. CL's reacting off of this. CL is starting to react off of that number. ES is not. Okay, there's 14, 211400. We got to get up through that level here on the ES. Okay, I'm going to give it just a couple of more minutes, and then I'm going to, okay, there we go. Now move. There's 2114 half. Come on, get up through it here. No, don't start rolling down the hill. You've got an iceberg at 2114 half. Not a big one, though. Oh, come on, don't roll down the hill here. All right, I'm going to pull the ES to scratch here. I'm scratch on the ES here. CL's coming down hard. I'm scratch. I'm not filled yet. My stop didn't get filled yet. And I'm out at scratch on the ES. Just not moving enough for me here to get interested. Okay? Just not moving enough, and that's okay. It happens. That's life. Just not moving enough for me. So I'm out of break even. And it looks like I may have been the right thing to do. All right. So your next time frame for a move is 9:42 a.m. Yeah, and you know, I've got a horse here, Gary. I appreciate the info. I've got a freaking horse here. And we configured it. So I'm running 33 gigs, right? On the RAM, and I'm only at 8. I'm only using 8 gigs here, you know. So I've got a monster under the hood. I don't know what the deal is. I have to sit down and try to go through it again. All right, so looks like taking ourselves out at scratch was the right idea on the ES, at least initially here. So we're making new lows here on the CL. And we're just in the rotation here on the ES. The next ES time frame is 9:42. That's about 40 minutes from here. Settlement is at 51:41. Why do I have settlement in a different place here? What do I have as settlement? Settlement is 51:41. Well, what was I looking at? All right. So just reload your Ninja script, and that will throw settlement back in the right spot for you. Just reload your Ninja script on your SNR tool. Yeah, I threw that ES back for the aforementioned reasons, and I'm glad that I did. $9:16 a.m. is the next time frame for a move with the probability to the long side on the CL. The next time frame for a move on the ES is 9:42. This is slow action right now on the ES. You've got 150 limit orders short at 35, 33. So again, the market's doing what we expect it to do here. We just got shaken out of our short. Step to step, right? Now we're back at this step here at 32. The sweet spot on that step is 32. We should linger here now for some time. We should linger here for a little bit of time here. We should not go too much deeper than this, at least initially. Like I said, I'm up about 65 ticks today. So, yeah, I'm glad we threw that ES back. Particularly glad now that it's having trouble pushing it up the hill here. So 9:05 a.m. is the next time frame for a move right here on the CL. It is right here. Tell you what, I'm going to just put in a quick short right here at 30.31. And I am in at 31, okay? Now my stop, I had to reload Ninja script, so let me get the chart trader back on. There you go. My stop here is 40. Technically the stop should be 59. I'm not going to go that high. Definitely not going that high. Okay, there's 29. This is the time frame for a move right here on the CL. This is your time frame for a move with the probability to the downside on your trade plan, and that is right here at, it was actually right here at 05, right here. Okay, that was the time frame right there. So we need a 5-minute bar to close underneath 32. You've got a revision signal now at 30. So really you need a 29 or lower close here on the CL. 29 or lower a close on the CL. $161 long at 25 down there. 161 long at 25 down at the and you've got a new bar in 320. So you need a close at 29 or lower. Trying to push through. There's 28, 27. Okay, 166 at 25. New low to 26. There's 25. Okay, we're having trouble pushing through 25. 127. My stop now is a break even. We can't get through 25 with some energy. I don't want to be in it anymore. And I'm glad we bailed out of the ES trade. Obviously. There we go. 30, 31, and I'm out at break even. This is probably going to keep going. 9:16 a.m. I have a double time frame move with the probability to the long side. This is going to go now. Crap. All right. So again, what we are waiting for here, Matt. Do you have any opinions on the YM and that? I know you're watching that. Or is it sideways as well?
Yeah, it's stuck in the mud. It's quicksand.
Yeah.
It's, for the ES. Now for the on the YM, basically what's going on in the YM is if you look at your 3-range chart.
Yeah.
When I talked about the SMAs to the downside, all your volume at 18,004, that was your previous low, and we took that out, so they've been pushing down on low, on heavier volume, and then they pulled back to the fib 38%, so now they're gonna, it looks like what they want to do is they want to challenge that 18,000 level, and they did, just briefly, but right below there is a 50% retracement sitting at 17,993. So be aware of that.
Anything anything actionable on your end as you see it?
Well, I'm watching the volume level right here, and the last leg down was on 70. The last push was 211 and then 70. So we might be getting a change of behavior. Remember when I talked about that yesterday?
Yep.
At the end of the day,
Yep.
start changing the behavior. So that's what I'm watching for. It's a watch and wait thing.
Gotcha.
Anything between 941 and right now, other than making a new low, and we didn't make it on any heavy volume, so there's no prediction. So if you get a change of behavior, 123 SMA on the YM is sitting at 18,014. So 18,014 is where you start looking for longs above that. Right now we're at 18,003, so we have not cut below the 18,000 mark.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, if you see something that becomes actionable, we'll turn my charts off and we'll move over to yours. And if you see something that becomes actionable in that or gold or something else, just let us know and we'll switch mine off and we'll switch over to you. So what couple of things I want you to see here. We did end up closing, on the ES, you have not closed above the daily structure signal. See all the probes, and that's why I threw that trade out fairly quickly. This is a very prime level, if you will, for us, and because of that, I didn't want to continue in it. So it would have taken me, it would have gotten to a tick of taking me out. I think I was on a 6-tick stop and an 8-tick and 16-tick targets. We're coming up here on a time frame, higher time frame and smaller time frame long on the CL coming up here. The ES, it's just doing nothing, right? What about gold, Matt? You see anything moving over there?
Gold went up and tested the London range high, so it's bouncing off of that at 1146.70. It moved up to there, and now it's coming back, so it's pulling back.
Yeah.
Bonds are pretty much in a range, the 30-year. So previous session high, almost at 151. So get above that area, we might start moving.
All right. So if you see something, just
Yeah, I'll keep it on there.
just let me know if you see something that's actionable, and we'll get flipped over to your screens here. So the only market that seems to be moving with some emphasis at the moment here is the CL, right? Everything else seems to be, or I say everything else. The dollar's coming down fairly quickly, and the euro is trying to support oil with its move up. Yeah, Wayne, you said that. I do see that. It's coming up off the bottoms, the 6E is. And the DX, for that matter, is coming down off the high to its ETH session open price. You are 2 minutes, roughly, from the next time frame for a move long, which would be a buy stop above settlement up there around 45. All right, so patience. We wait for it. Draghi's still talking, by the way. All right, 9:16 a.m. is the next time frame for a move, and then followed by another time frame, higher time frame at 17. So let's go ahead and put this marker on the chart here for the CL at 9:16. That is the next bar right here. The buy stop would be at 44 right now, and you'll have another time frame move coming up here at 17. So we are staying underneath the minor area here. Wow, look at the ES roll out of bed here now. Down into that support zone down here. So you did have, and I'm glad we threw it out when we did. There's just not, sometimes there's just not anything to do on it, and it doesn't matter what level I'm looking at here, whether I'm looking at the market maker levels or the time frames or even the SNR level. There just isn't anything to do on the ES at the moment, and sometimes that's the way it is. I did get shaken out of that short on the CL, unfortunately. I did get shaken out of that short on the CL. Shake the flakes, and I was the flake. So remember, I told you that 50-70 down below was on your daily chart is a very significant area here. Or sorry, your 60-minute chart, right? And that is our break point down here. That is going to be a very significant area here. So we'll see. You got a time frame for a move with the probability to the long side right on this bar and the next bar right here. So back to back. So we definitely are going to get some movement out of this. I just don't know which, the probabilities to the long side, but it is very high chance for move here. Rob, I'm going to answer your question indirectly. Even if I were willing to share all of the details on how I come up with these time frames, it would be too complicated a discussion to get into here, and there's too many variables that go into how we come up with it. But suffice it to say, we do publish these many hours in advance. Like yesterday, the time frames went up. Last night's a little different. I didn't get home baseball till late. But they're generally posted 12 to 15 hours ahead of time. So you have time to kind of digest and see what it is and all of those kinds of things. So we provide them on a trade plan on a daily basis. And there's just a process that I go through that, again, would be just is a little too lengthy, even if I were willing to share it, which I don't think I am. And again, I'm not trying to be rude. It just is what it is. But there would be, we do provide them every day. And even when I'll be out of town next week or the week after, I will have trade plans for you every day. And by the way, welcome to the group this morning. It's good to have you in here. Yeah, Reg, simply put, yeah, I come up with these calculations that lead me into the discussions here, or leads me into the final product. All right, 9:42 a.m. is the next time frame for a move on the ES. That time frame is long. Right now, you've got a double time frame here for a move on the CL. Right now, here's the competing idea. We've closed underneath the revision signal. We've closed underneath this structure signal here at 30. And so now that gives you the opportunity to reach out to 5107 or even as deep as 5091. So they're valid for 10 minutes. If you get a break here until, see, that's 17. And it's only 1, 2, 3 minutes in. If you get a break above 44, 43, 44, that would be a long. Okay, so here's the DYTE market maker levels. I want to show you this, and Dave will throw a link into the room here that talks about them as well. I do want to show you these because they are important as a tool and component here. We're going to start with the ES. And it's applicable the same way to the other. So right here, I want you to notice something. I want you to notice this level right here, okay? This daily structure signal. It was formed based on price action in the overnight session. By the way, I'm going to stage a CL order on here for 44 on a buy stop. Okay, I've got a 44 buy stop staged up here. That is valid till 9:27 a.m. Central Time. Okay, so I'm putting the buy stop up here at 44. This is part of your counter trend move on this time frame for a long, and so 9:44 is the buy stop up here. So that's what I'm doing here right now. Okay, so let's come back to the ES. So if you look here, these are formed in the overnight session. These, and you see this line where it says pit open. So you roll over to pit open and boom, right at the beginning, okay? And so what I do is I show you how to draw these in the training. So there's 5 hours of training and there's an indicator that goes along with it. But during that training session, I show you how to calculate these levels. That's what makes these levels, that's one of the things that makes these levels unique to the oil trading group. If you go out there to the world of vendors, and there are many, just go to the NinjaTrader ecosystem and you can find your stomach full of vendors out there. They do not show you how to draw the levels. They will charge you a monthly fee to get those levels, but they will not teach you how to do it. The market maker levels, I will teach you how to do it. I'll teach you how to draw them. Anyway, coming into this open here, you will have drawn this, and you can get this set up so that you know right at the open this is going to be the level. Your short could have been, the way that I teach you, is at 2114. This bar opens, comes up, touches, would have filled you, and then moved down at the open from 2114 to 211075. So you would have had a 3-point move. Your first target is 8 ticks. Your next target is 12 ticks. This would have filled you because it would have gone 13 ticks. Okay. comes back up, tests that level again, can't get over it, and then we've come down and double bottom down here. If you get above this level and you get a close, a bar that closes above this level, and at 9:42 a.m. we're going to be looking at it again, you get a bar that closes above this level, then it's targeting up there at 2119 quarter. If it does not get above, then you're looking for the structure mid at 2109 or the daily structure signal down below again at 2104. These levels then get the third set of levels that get developed, and those are called revision signals. Okay, and we have the first one coming up. So as that article that Dave threw into the box down there, these are like those Russian nesting dolls, right? So you have a big one, you have the big one, you have a smaller one inside the bigger one, then you have the next smaller one inside that one. And so that's what these levels are doing. They are developing based on historical price and time action, and then they give you a set of levels. Then after that, once you get into the open, then the overnight session forms a set of levels. Then once you get through the open, then you get a set of revisions that are based on that day's price action. So they are dynamic support and resistance levels, and they are continually updating, and they all have their own sets of rules as to the way that you look at them and play them. What's unique about them, again, is that they were developed by a market maker. They're called market maker levels. A friend of mine that traded these in the pits when he was on the floor trading the big S&P, and he did that for 30 years. And he used a derivation of these levels when he traded that every day, things that he was looking for, calculations that he was doing on a daily basis. We have translated them into the screen, and I'm going to not only give you a license for the indicator and then all of the training that you need to understand them, I'm also going to show you how to draw them so that you can put them on any market. And again, Gary can tell you, I don't trade the TF, but Gary can tell you that on the TF, they're effective. He's really likes to use those over on the TF. Jim uses them. Other people use them in here. But these are just the guys that are most vocal about them, right? Other guys are using them, etc. So anyway, that is the value of those levels, right? So then you start to, like we talked about earlier, you then begin to layer all of these ideas. So you have a time frame for a move. Okay, cool. Check number one. Now, you have a market maker level. Okay, check number two. It's against a support and resistance level. Cool. Check number three. If you get all of them to line up in the way that you would like to see them line up, you got yourself something cool, right? You got yourself something to do. And so individually and standalone, they can be used by themselves, but confirmation. We all like confirmation in our trade. So if you have something that you look at, right, and that you like, you can use them in conjunction with that to provide you with targets or expected areas of congestion, demand, supply and demand zones, whatever you want to call them. They provide you with information to help you make decisions, entry and exit decisions. If you go into the OTG website and you look at the trade of the day videos, that is why I can hold on for 50 tick targets, 40 and 50 tick targets. It's the reason why I can do that, because I have an idea of where the market should go based on the behavior pattern of the tools that we work with here. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so we could take that buy stop off now. You've got at 9:31 a.m. on the CL. The next time frame for a move is 9:42 on the ES. And again, I'm only trading one idea on the ES today. You could have traded the long off of the 1.27% range extension and out of this support zone. You could have done that at 211 quarter, and that would have been up to 2114. What I am doing here today, and again, I am just showcasing one aspect of the tools that you receive here, and I'm doing that because I don't want to be too confusing as to what we're doing, right? I'm trying to give you a good idea, and this is the way that we recommend all new guys coming into the program do this. You pick a setup that you like, you work with it, you test it, you do something, you look at it, you ignore everything else, and you get good at trading that one setup. By the way, that's not just here. That's any place you end up going, whether it's here or Joe's trade room down the street, or Billy Bob's indicator warehouse system, or whatever, right? You need to do that, not to get preachy here, but you need to pick one idea, you need to master it, and then you move on to the next idea. Whatever it is that you see in here that speaks to you, or wherever you end up, you need to do that. To me, that's the best way to become successful. If you try to shotgun, and Matt, you've been in the business a lot longer than I have. If you try to shotgun out and try to pick up 40 systems and try to incorporate them all at the same time, you're going to fail. That's just the bottom line. You agree with that, Matt? I may have put him on the spot. He may be up away from his desk. Anyway, Matt, jump in if you're here. So that's the point, though, of any of these things here, is that you need to be able to modify these things into your own way of looking at the markets. All right, just patience here. Market's cooled off a little bit. 942 is the next time frame for a move on your ES. 931. Short on the CL. It only lasts for a few minutes. And we're rotational around that time, around this zone here. Yep, here goes the pop. Previous session low down here, 831. The open of the next bar is a time frame for a move with the probability short here on the CL. All right, I'm short right here, 2021. This is the time frame for a move with the probability to the downside. We'll see if I get filled in, and I did. First target down there at 05. This is the time frame for a move. First target 05. We got to get through 18. There were some iceberg orders here at 18. This is the time frame for a move right here with the probability to the downside. And we'll see. We got to get through 18, 17. Come on, 16, 15. Down to 05 here is the first target. We need to get down to 05. The low down there is 12. And now that you are trading underneath this 32 step here, by the way, my stop right now is up at 41, 40. We'll see. I don't want to be that high. It should be actually a little higher, but we'll see. There's 17, 16, 15. We're going to look to get down to that 70 level. There's 14, 13, 12, 11. Stop is now at break even here. Stop is now at break even. I'm going to go ahead and take some off at 10 ticks. I'm taking 2 off at 10, and I got 2 off here at 10. Oh, it didn't fill me, you mother. Well, let's bring it back down to 05 now. Son of a. Didn't fill me. I don't know why. My ninja's behaving badly again. 8, 13, 12, 11. I'm going to put it down here at 10 again on the target. There's 10, 11 rather, 10. Fill it. Okay, there's 10. And I got 2 off at 10 ticks. It's just a little jagged down here. And so we're going to take the next one off at 90. The final one is off down there at 70. Puts me up 81 ticks on the day right now. And you know what? We're trading the market that's moving today, and that's fine. That's the way it goes sometimes. 9:42 a.m. is the next time frame for a long on the ES, at 942. There's 10.9. 117 limit orders long at 07. And so again, this is what I told you again on the market maker levels. Here's your a great example of the market maker levels on the CL. I told you once you close above below the revision signal that you would come down. That would give you a chance down to the revision target down there at 08. Well, we just hit 08. That's your revision signal on your market maker level. Now your next target is down there. Your structure target is at 90, 91, because you've closed below the DR, daily revision, and the DS, daily structure signals. So that then brings these targets into play, and that's exactly what we are looking at here right now. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take one more off at 10 ticks. So that's a sell we need to buy right there at 10 ticks. I'm going to take another one off at 10 ticks just simply because it's not moving very aggressively. And I am now starting to tighten up the window here because of the profit levels are decent today. And we're going to do what we're going to do here. So you've got the next time frame for a move on the ES is not until 942. And we are below the moving average. The ES just isn't moving. Sometimes sometimes it doesn't move, and today's one of those days. But you get a sense of an idea of what some of the tools that are available for you here. Even though we aren't trading these tools, you got to pick one. If you end up coming on board with Matchroom, you could pick one of these tools. Today you had the option for the market maker levels performing pretty well. The support and resistance levels are performing very well. The time-based moves, they're just not giving you quite the indication that you would like to see. So that's the way it goes sometimes. Hey, Matt, you there, buddy? Very cool. Anything happening on the other ones, on the other indexes that you see? Okay.
ES is really in a range.
Boy, it is, isn't it?
It's in the zone.
Yeah. It's in that zone, yeah. So what's going to happen here, Matt, is I'm in this CL trade, and then I'm going to turn over. If I get out of this CL trade and I'm up 90 ticks, I'm going to turn it back over to you so that you could spend the time focusing on those other markets. I don't trade those other markets, but there may be something going on that you could explain. There's the third target off at 10 ticks. That puts me up right now 90 ticks on the day. My final target is 90 down there, and if we end up hitting that, then we're in good shape. But so I'm going to I'll turn it over to you at that point to see if you can scrounge up something on the indexes. I just don't have enough expertise to kind of look over the other indexes than that you can provide them with some information on. What I was hoping for is to be able to do more on the ES today, and it just hasn't worked out that way. So I don't, these guys are here expecting, index information, and I'd like to be able to give them that, and I think you'll be able to do that better than I will on the rest of the markets. So anyway, so we'll go that direction. So we'll try to get out of this CL here. There we go, 6.5. And so I'm going to bring the trail stop down here to an additional 5 ticks to 15. And we'll see. My target is down there at 90. My final target is 90 down there. There's 0302, 0201. You've got 146 long at 00 down there. And we'll just manage through to try to get through this here. So if I brought it down to 10, to 10, if I brought the stop down to 10, I'd be up 100 ticks on the day. What I'd like to see us do is close below this previous low of 07. And again, these market maker levels coming into play here on the CL, right? So you came down to your revision target at 08. This is what helped me get in along with the OTG trade plan. You've got 3 minutes left here. We are having trouble closing below the 08, but this is what helped me get in, is the expectation level that we would come down to this 08. 206 limit orders long at 0-0. So if we make it down to 0-0 again and we cannot get through it, the trail stop's going to come down to 10 ticks. And that will put me up a smooth 100 ticks on the day, and then I'll be done. And then I'm going to be done because there's no reason for me to trade the CL again, and the ES is not providing me with anything at the moment. But the YM and you know the other instruments that you look at, Matt, maybe, so it would be prudent at that point to switch it over, I think. $205 limit orders long at 0-0 right now. Still in this thing. I've got a 5-tick stop on the final lot down here. 5-tick stop. Bonds are moving well, Randy. Okay. Maybe get Matt to look over at the bonds as well for you, Randy. Appreciate you being in here, by the way, as well. So you've got 212 limit orders long at the 0-0 mark down there, and we're expecting this market to go to its next step in the chain of steps that we look at here. You've got a minute 20 here. We get to 0-0 and cannot get through it. The trail stop's going to 10. May go to 10 anyway. I just want to see how we respond around 0-0. There's 03. Still no takers at 03. Let's go ahead and put it at 10 now. Trail stops at 10. There's 02. And you got 230 long at 0-0, then another 125 long down there at 98. My final target is 0-0 down below. That would be an additional 30 ticks if we could get there. Trail stop now is at 10. Trail stop down here at 10. I'm feeling fortunate that we are in the middle of contract roll here. Okay, there's your 0100. 134 hit the bid, 139 on the bid down there. So that is a sticky area down there. 105 on the bid. Iceberg orders at 01 and 00. So 10 is the right stop here now. It's got to go here. It's got to go. There's 01 and 123 at 98. Limit orders long. This was based on your time frame move right up here on your trade plan at 9:31 a.m. 9:41 a.m. is the next time frame for a move, and that is at the open of the next bar. So we do need to start pushing through it here quickly. It is the open of this bar. This is the time frame for a move with the probability to the long side. So I'm protecting 10 ticks. It may start going long right out of this. It is the time frame for a move, and it's less about direction and more about time. So the time here for this move could actually trigger a push through the 0-0. But you have a tremendous number of orders. There is a ton of seller absorption going on at the 0-0 level. Okay, there's 0201. You could go down as deep as 70. And again, this is the time frame for a move with the probability long right here. And that's what's happening here is we are going long. I've got the final contract coming off at 10. I told you 0-0 is going to be tough, and I'm out at 10. So that puts me up a clean 100 ticks on the day. All right, so you got to see what I meant today about the ES being slow and sluggish. There was an opportunity early in the session. It just didn't quite line up with our SMA. We did have Draghi speaking today. We did have the Fed Chair Yellen also speaking. And so it just didn't provide us with a ton of opportunity. We did get a few good opportunities on the CL. So again, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. If you sat through this whole video, you've been listening to me talk for a little over 2 hours. So again, as always, I want to say thank you for spending the time watching the videos here at the Oil Trading Group. And until tomorrow, I want to wish you good luck and good trading.